CCJs are something that you can get put on your credit file if you are bad with money. A County Court Judgment is what CCJ stands for, and it's when you take out a loan or a debt and it goes through the courts because you don't pay it off, it gets stuck on your credit file here in the United Kingdom, and it shows that you are bad with money. Having a CCJ can limit you from many things. It can limit you from getting credit cards, it can limit you from getting loans, and even mortgages. But there is a plus side to a CCJ. The plus side is you can pay it off. You have a month to pay it off for it to be removed. And failing that, you can always satisfy it down the line. But they're stuck on your file whether you satisfy them or not for 6 years. And after that 6 years, they're gone, completely off your file, and you can continue on with your life. Now, I'm someone who has had many CCJs over the time, and I have 5 permanent ones stuck on my credit file. Now, I have paid off CCJs here and there when they come up in the first month. However, when I was homeless, I got CCJs, which were parking fines. I didn't know I got them because they were sent to an address I didn't live at. They then went through the courts, which I was unaware of, and they then ended up on my credit file, which at that point in time I couldn't afford to pay them off. So, I'm stuck with these 5 CCJs on my credit file until the 6 years has surpassed. I decided to pay them off at the beginning of this year. My CCJs total, altogether, all 5 of them, a total sum of £1,927. Now, I've satisfied 4 of the 5 CCJs, and that's purely so I could get this flat. See, I've had properties in the past without guarantors and with guarantors. It's very difficult to find a property as it is. But in my current predicament that I was in, I had to convince the owners of this flat that I would be a good enough tenant and that I could afford the rent, which I can. But they didn't like the credit file, so I had to pay off my CCJs. So I paid off 4 of the 5 of them, and I didn't pay off the 5th, because they didn't let me pay it off. I contacted DCB Legal, who the CCJ is with, and they said that I can't pay it off, I've just got to wait until it expires. But luckily enough, I believe it expires around April time next year. The other 4, however, have been satisfied, and they're sitting on the credit file, except on ClearScore. ClearScore has told me that they've been removed off my credit file, which I'm not complaining about, although when I look at Experian or Credit Karma, they're still there. Anyways, would I recommend satisfying the CCJ? Yes I would, on the condition that you can actually afford to satisfy them, and providing that you're going to be getting something in return. If you have a mortgage already and you get a CCJ, why would you really satisfy it? After 6 years' time, it's paid off. Then again, you might need to move house in those 6 years, and you're stuck. Now, paying off the CCJs has monumentally improved my credit file. I'm now in a position where I can take out loans if I deemed wish. I had a look at IKEA the other day. They have their own credit plan where you can get furniture from the shop and you can pay it back at 0% interest over time, and they approved me for £15,000. I'm not going to use it. I don't need any more furniture in my flat. But the point is the option is there if I really want it. So how much did I satisfy? I satisfied, I believe, around the £1,000 mark, because the total sum for the 5 is £1,927, but the one that I couldn't satisfy was the big one, which was 3 parking fines cobbled into one, and that one is around the £980 mark, so just below £1,000 I had to pay. Did I consider going to court to get these disputed because these are parking fines from when I was 17 years old? Of course I did. I even spoke with DCB Legal and Gladstone Solicitors and anyone else who had my CCJs to see if I could go through the court process with them to prove that I was underage or I was homeless or this and that, anything that I could come up with, which was true, to not have it still stuck on the file. And no one was really willing to help me. Though BW Legal did actually consider it. They said I'd have to pay all the court fees up front and I'd have to pay them an additional charge. And then they would be able to take it to court to see if they can get it satisfied and completely removed off my credit file based on my reasonings, which they believe my reasonings were valid. However, there's always the risk that the courts go, no, we're not going to remove it off your file, and I'm stuck with it, and I've just wasted all that money for nothing. So I decided not to go through with it. I decided to just satisfy them in the end. I didn't actually ever plan on satisfying these 5 CCJs, because, to be honest with you, they expire in the next 2 years altogether. So, why did I satisfy them? Purely to get this flat, to provide my family with a home, because that's what I needed. And no, I don't have a guarantor on this place, which is pretty cool. Yes, I do pay the rent, and yes, I do have my son living here. It's difficult having the CCJs on your file when you're trying to sort your life out. I've spent many years homeless, and I wish I knew about the CCJs at the time, and I wish I understood my credit file more then. But I understand my credit file a lot now. In fact, over the last 4 years, I have been tirelessly working on it. I have been focusing on every single nook and cranny, every single little thing, and I've been focusing on trying to improve my income and improve my savings. And sure, my income that I get in every month isn't the best. You know, I'm not a millionaire by any stretch of the imagination. However, I have been able to build up a bulk of savings, and I've been able to pay off 4 of the 5 CCJs, and I've got myself a flat which I have to pay for, and hopefully everything's going to come together financially. And yeah, it has improved my credit file. I believe my credit file went up by like 280 points that month when I paid them off, which was remarkable actually. You know, I don't have the highest credit file number. You know, at the moment it's always up and down, up and down, up and down. But that's just the way it is. That's the way credit files are. You know, I think I'm down 16 points this month because I got removed off an old electoral roll. Is what it is. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to let you know of my financial predicament, my financial stage, where I have now paid off 4 of the 5 CCJs. That's 80% of them, which is great. It's done. It's sorted. Something I don't have to worry about for the near future. Adios, my mis amigos, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about County Court Judgements and CCJs, let me know in the comments below because I'd really like to know. And I have made more videos based around County Court Judgements and CCJs. They're not something really to be proud of, but if you have a home secured, it's not the end of the world. I'm not telling you to take out loans and not pay them off. Of course you should pay them off. In fact, I don't really recommend getting out loans unless you're using the money for good, i.e. you're able to get yourself a 0% loan and you're able to chuck it in the stock market, or you're able to gain some sort of interest on it, then it's a no-brainer, I think. Yeah. Goodbye for now. I shall see you guys all in the next video.
The end.
Like this video!